Hi, this is Charlena Pearson with Dreamers Can Essential Oils, and I wanted to say hello to you. And I apologize, I haven't been on for 2 weeks, and the main reason because of that is because I had pesticide poisoning. Now, when it first came on, I didn't realize what it was. As you may know, I moved into my own apartment in September. And in the apartment building, they have sign-ups so that you can have the exterminator come into your apartment and spray. Now, I've resisted that. The only time I had an exterminator come in is to fill up the holes in the heating stuff because there were mice in the wall, and actually, or mice or rats, I'm not sure. Whatever it was a baby and it was small. I saw possibly the same one, or maybe not. I'm not sure. But in October, late part of October, I think that was when it was. I saw a couple of mice, one at a time. Let me say that, one at a time, run across my room, or I scared one once when it was in the bathroom because it scared me. Um, and so I did invite the exterminator to come in, and he looked at the areas and said that there the where the holes probably were in the what is that called, the baseboard heater, that was probably where the mice were coming in. I don't know. I believed him, whatever, wherever he thought it was going to be. Anyway, I did invite him to come in for that. I guess that was at the that was at the beginning of December was when he could come back. And I was here in the apartment. When he came to do, he did a lookout, and then he said he wasn't due to come back until the following week, which is when he would come in. And he came in and he filled up the holes. There are no more mice, nothing whatsoever. January rolls around. I did not sign up for the exterminator because I used another formula because I'm highly sensitive when it comes to chemicals. Um, so I did not sign up, but let's see, 2 weeks ago, getting now about 3 weeks, tomorrow will be 3 weeks, that I came home and there was a note that said, while you were out, and I was like, no, I just put down my formula, not something I made up, but something that I actually get from Amazon, which is all natural, but the bugs do not like it. Or I should rephrase that. They like it enough that they eat it, and then they take it back to the hive and die, and then, it kills the entire hive. So, but anyway, so I just put that down, maybe, I think, Monday, and they came in on Wednesday, and I saw the note when I got back into the apartment Wednesday evening after work. So I was fine then. I was just annoyed that they had come into my apartment and sprayed, and especially since I didn't know where they sprayed. Um, my apartment is organized. However, I do have, in all the corners, I do have something. So unless it was just in the bathroom, well, no, I have something in every corner in all of my parts of the apartment, including the items that were already here, like this closet is already in the apartment, and then I have cabinets, of course, in the kitchen and everything that match that closet. Anyway, just to move ahead to maybe about 3 or 4 days, I started getting sick. And I thought, well, that's weird. Why would I be getting sick? I mean, I felt like it wasn't in my chest, but it was definitely in my throat and in my sinuses. And I not know what it was. I couldn't place it. For the longest time, I thought, well, maybe it's dust. So I even, because was looking in this thing up here that I'm pointing to, for something else. I looked over and I saw, you can see the shadow over there. That is my um, ceiling fan. And while I was up there, I looked over at the ceiling fan and there was a lot of dirt, dust, basically. It was black dust on the top of the ceiling fan, and I thought, oh, that must be it. There's too much dust in here, and I use that ceiling fan especially when I'm baking or doing frying stuff, because it's such a small room. It fills up with carbon monoxide quite quickly, and so I have to turn on the fan so that the fire alarm doesn't go off, because it will. So anyway, I thought, okay, I'm going to have to get something or put something down. And as I was telling my voice teacher that, she said, oh no, just go get a Swifter 360. And who are not paying me for that, by the way, so that I would just be able to reach up and get the dust off, and it wouldn't shake all over the place, because I could just imagine that I was going to have to excuse me, it's going to have to put a sheet or some sort of covering down to um, to protect my bed, my bedside table, which is also my bench and chair, and just maybe even the sink, or just make sure everything, all my dishes were, there were no dishes out on the sink or on the counter. So that was what I was envisioning, and then my voice teacher told me about that. So I did go. It took me 2 or 3 days to find it. Meanwhile, I'm getting more and more congested. My throat is starting to. My throat never really hurt, but it kind of itched. But it didn't really ever hurt. But I just got progressively, my sinuses started to fill up. I could not figure it out. And then about a week later, I was waiting around for the workers to come back in, because they were putting in a jack in my apartment for a new phone intercom. And but they didn't arrive. They evidently arrived after I left for work. I came back home, and I got really, really congested then. The next day I was sneezing, I was coughing, things were coming up out of my lungs. My body was just inflamed. It was so disconcerting. I just did not know what to do. So I did see online that, and I had seen this before, but I'd avoid using this even for when I had a cold a couple of weeks ago. And this was not a cold, because I took my temperature every single day. Never had a temperature. I mean, it was not a flu. It wasn't a cold. It was just that my tonsils had swollen. Yes, I still have my tonsils. They had I could tell they were swollen, because I could feel them having been swollen. And then also I looked in the back of my throat, and they were in fact inflamed. Not so much that they were red, but they had swollen, and then there was lots of fluid on my tonsils. And there was one little bit, oh, it was on this side, that had like this much, like that much, maybe that wide as well, of a red mark on the side of my tonsils. Otherwise, they weren't red at all. It was kind of amazing. So I what I saw online was to get rid of the cough, is to make a cough syrup. Now, my father, when I was a child, made cough syrup out of honey, lemon, and glycerin. But now that I'm an adult, I'm sort of allergic to glycerin, so I knew that was something that I couldn't make. But this other thing that I saw online was onions, and I'm not fond of onions. They don't do well in my body. You chop up a small red onion, and I especially hate red onions, but you chop up a small red onion, and then you chop up 5 cloves of garlic. I think yes, 5 cloves of garlic, and 12, and then you put in 12 tablespoons. Yes, 12 tablespoons. I keep thinking it's teaspoons, but it's 12 tablespoons of honey. You mix that together. You chop up the cloves of garlic and the onions into chunks. You put it in a glass jar. I suppose you could put it in a plastic jar, but nah, a glass jar. You stir it around, you seal it, and you let it sit, preferably in the refrigerator, for at least 6 hours, and if possible, overnight. So I did that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon last Saturday, I think. Yes, last Saturday, and by 9 o'clock, I was able to take my first batch, and I won't say it was right away, but it was pretty. It started to get better. It started to get much better. Now, I don't know why I never for myself. I never think about my products. I never think about my essential oils. Or that's not true. I don't think about it immediately. That's what it is. I don't think about it immediately, even though I'm giving you tools on how to think about this immediately. Now, I believe, what am I on? 3 weeks ago, I did white grapefruit. Today, because of what transpired over the course of the last 2 weeks, I'm going out of order, and I am going to tell you what I used in the meantime while I was waiting for the for the uh, the cough syrup to leach out the oils and water from both the onion and the garlic, and mix with the, oh, I should have, oh well, some other time I'll have to show it to you. Actually, I'm almost through with it, so it wouldn't be a good show anyway. But what happens is, after what the I guess the honey, well, the lemon just leaks out water anyway, and then the honey probably leaches the water out of the garlic, and you mix it together, and it's the perfect. You know what? I think it was Barbara O'Neill who actually was talking about this, on YouTube. It's amazing what happened when I took that. It started to work almost immediately. But in the meantime, while I was waiting for that, I was still coughing. I mean, it felt like I was coughing up a lung. That's how bad it was, and I never fully lost my speaking voice, but I lost the top notes of my singing voice, which, the first weekend was not a problem because wasn't singing anywhere, and thank God I didn't have a speaking gig. But um, I and even when I went to work the following week, um, which I didn't have a cold, so I mean, I felt not horrible, but Monday and Tuesday I rested most of the day. But so I did go to work on Wednesday, but I was still coughing. so I, so one of the things that I did do was that, now this is after a week had gone by, because the week during, after the initial chemicals in my apartment, it was getting worse and worse, but it hadn't reached its peak. It hadn't reached its peak until last Wednesday when they came into my apartment, and I guess they laid across, who I don't. It wasn't the same people. It wasn't an exterminator, but somebody evidently laid across my bed, and they had to, because the wall that the phone is on is over here, and they would have to have laid it across my bed. I did have a towel on it, but I don't know. Whatever it was, and whatever compounded it, by the time I got back home and took a shower and went to bed, I went to sleep for an hour, and I was just coughing the entire night. So I realized I had to just wash all of my bedclothes, because I don't know what happened, but I will say it was not pretty. All right, so in any case, I finally came to terms with that I was going to need doTERRA. I think that I actually built this. Yes, it was this past Saturday. So I finally came to terms that I needed some essential oils. So for allergies, for chemical allergies, pesticides, insecticides, because I think I had basically insecticide poisoning. So what I remembered is that I needed some sort of essential oil that would clean the inside of my body. So um, the number of there's a number of them that will do that. Now I was thinking for diffusing, I diffused purify, lemon, and peppermint. I think at that point still had some peppermint. So I did diffuse. I was diffusing that, and that was sort of relieving a little bit. But I also had to pull part of the towels out of my window so I could get some circulation of air in here in both my bathroom and my um, living room bedroom. So the bathroom was not so bad, which you would think it would be, because I would think if they were going to spray, they would spray in there. It's a little bit more wide open spaces, but I don't know. I have no idea where they sprayed because I wasn't here. So anyway, what I decided, now the items that you can use that will clean out and or dry up your sinuses are lemon, of course, because that's a cleanser. That's an absolute cleanser. Peppermint, lavender, eucalyptus citronella, cedarwood, and it's just going off the top of my head because now I don't remember. I don't have the list, but because what was there's one more. It'll come to me. But in any case, those are ones that and peppermint. That was it. So citronella, cedarwood. There was another C. Anyway, so what I decided to use was oh, that's not right. I decided to use lemon because it's an absolute cleanser. If it can get plastic off of, not plastic, if it can get glue off of the bottom of a jar that has um, a sticky tag on it, you just put the lemon in. I knew it would be able to sop up this mucus that was in my system. So, and then also lavender, and we know that lavender is it calms things. So, and my sinuses needed calming down. And then I decided to use eucalyptus because I love the smell of eucalyptus. It's part of the pine tree family, E. radiata, and you can get eucalyptus from Australia, Africa. Of course, we have it here in New York, but I believe doTERRA gets theirs from their eucalyptus from Australia. So what I did each evening, I don't know why I don't have my lemon, but anyway, each evening what I would do is I would put a drop in each evening and morning. I would put a drop in my hand, drop or two, and the drop is good, of each of the oils. I would not rub my hands together, but I would take my finger, put it right up here on my temple, and behind my ear on the eustachian tubes, and a little bit behind that. And then after a couple of days, I started rubbing it on the back of my ears as well. And I would do each side. And then if I didn't have on socks and shoes because I was leaving for the day, I would put it on the bottom of my feet in the center. And if I did, I would just rub my hands together because your hands are also have the points on your hands are the same points that you have on your feet. It's just your feet are you use your hands more and you'll wash your hands, so you sometimes just wash off the oils before you actually get to before it actually gets into your system, although it pretty much absorbs right away. But I wanted to make, that's the best point, so that there's no allergic reaction or whatever. So it did, doing both of those 2 times a day for the last 5 days. When I tell you, it was just an amazing difference in terms of how I sounded a week ago and how I sound now. And I was even able to sing in both places on Sunday. I had 2 places to sing, and I will tell you, when I had my voice lesson on Saturday, I could not go above a B. No, sorry, an A flat. I couldn't go above an A flat. So, and I had some in the morning. In the morning of Sunday, I was going to need to go up to a B flat. So by using these oils and my cough syrup, homemade cough syrup, I was able to do that, and had a grand time. My voice still sounded ratchet, I'll say that. And this is, of course, not my full speaking voice. It still sounds like I could be from France. So if I wanted to do a French accent, it would be perfect at this point. But in any case, I just wanted to let you know what was going on, why you hadn't seen me for, now, this would have been 3 weeks if I had skipped it, but I am much better. I just I couldn't, I could not get I couldn't get to the camera. You would not have been able to understand me because I would have been coughing and I had to blow my nose. My nose was even hurting. It was so bad. Anyway, this is Charlena. I'm with Dreamers Can Essential Oils, and I'm so happy that you were able to join me. If you like this video, please let me know down at the bottom, and if you'd like to subscribe, please do. And next week, I will be going on from white grapefruit. I don't know what's next, but I will be going on to white grapefruit, going towards Arbor Vitae, because as you know, this is the Zeta A essential oils. So, alrighty, thank you. Bye bye.